adult life and how fast-paced it is, it's really easy to get caught up in work and actually not see your friends. I've learnt to prioritize myself and actually put myself out there, which isn't something that's easy for me to do. I'm really grateful to be here, being someone who actually lost a friend just being in his 20s. So many people at his funeral, and speaking to all of his friends and just seeing how many people's lives he touched. I remember when I told my boss and he actually gave me a booklet on grief. I've spoken to a lot of young people who would say, oh, I don't have the experience to work here and at this company or whatever. You can always create that experience for yourself. So you just don't know where your work can take you. All those big ideas that you feel you can't do, but the ones that keep you up at night, chase them and do them. This year, one of my resolutions was to actually...
How old are you?
How old am I? 28? 28?
So being 28, what is something you've learned about life?
That's a good question. Something that I've learned about life. I've learned to prioritize myself. I've also learned to really chase my dreams and actually put myself out there, which isn't something that's easy for me to do, but yeah, I've learned that.
So how do you prioritize yourself in your 20s?
So I prioritize myself in my 20s. Something that I've actually been doing recently is going to gym classes with my best friend. Something that I've realized is that with adult life and how fast-paced it is, it's really easy to get caught up in work and actually not see your friends. So I've been trying to do things where it allows me to prioritize my health whilst also seeing my friends at the same time. So me and my best friend, we actually go to Zumba classes together. We've been going to Pilates together. And that's kind of a way to kill two birds with one stone, seeing my friends but also working together to prioritize our health. I also go on a lot of walks, I paint, and actually something that really helps me to prioritize myself is actually making my ideas happen. So all the things that I write in my notebook that I want to do, film and all that kind of stuff, actually doing them. And I feel like doing these things have helped me to show love to myself in a way.
So you touched on friendship. How do you keep that friendship going in your 20s, especially when everyone is working, everyone have their own lives basically?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So kind of what I was saying in terms of actually kind of the killing two birds with one stone thing, because oftentimes I find in adult life it's like you have to kind of set aside a time in the diary to meet with a friend. Whereas if you're doing something like kind of going to a gym class together or kind of something that's in your routine, that helps you to makes it easier for you to actually see your friends more. So yeah, that's what I do. And then also after work, I have so many calls with my friends. Sometimes I'm literally going from call to call to call to call. But that's something that I also find really comforting after a day of work, to just have those FaceTime audio calls with my friends as well. And yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What is something you're grateful for in your 20s?
Life. I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to be here. And I say that being someone who actually lost a friend in 2023. And that experience really made me realize how delicate life is as well. And even going to his funeral and there just being so many people at his funeral and speaking to all of his friends and just seeing how many people's lives he touched just being in his 20s. And it really made me think, I actually want to be able to impact people in that way. I think being at his funeral and seeing his family and friends there made me realize actually he's inspired me to want to impact people's lives in that way. So yeah, I would say I'm really grateful for life and grateful to be here. I try to make the most of it as possible, whether it's actually doing things to make my big ideas come true, spending time with my friends and stuff like that, because yeah, it just fills me with so much love to be able to do these things. But yeah, that's what I would say.
So losing someone in your 20s, not a lot of people have experienced that. So how did that impact you?
Yeah, it was a lot. And I'm really grateful at the time. I had a boss who his name is Jack. I'm just gonna say Jack Jenkins if you see this. But I remember when I told my boss, and he actually gave me a booklet on grief, and he sat down because my boss had actually lost his dad at a young age, and he sat down and spoke about grief to me, and he just gave me so much support. But yeah, that experience changed me in a lot of ways because I even made the video for his funeral. So all of his friends were sending me like videos and pictures of him, and I was watching them and just seeing how much impact he had in so many people's lives and just how full his life was. And yeah, it really made me think about life in such a different way. I remember when I first found out about him passing, I when I got home, I was hugging my brother and I was like, I love you so much because actually he left behind his mum and his sister, and I saw the impact that had on them. So it made me cherish the people in my life even more. And just yeah, it changed a lot about how I view life. I still think about him every single day. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know if I answered your question, but yeah.
How important is community?
Oh yeah, community is very, very important to me. Yeah. And I feel like I'm always building my community. This year, funnily enough, one of my resolutions was to actually grow my community by going to like different events. And I'm someone who actually goes to events on their own. Like after work, I'll just take myself to like a jam session or open mic night. I went to my friends. Some of my friends like, why didn't you tell me to come with you? But I don't know. I just kind of just do it. And I've met a lot of people through that way, and like even through Instagram as well. But yeah, community is really, really important. Like you can't do this life on your own. So yeah, building a community and having a community is very important. Like I'm always open to like growing my community as well. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And lastly, what is the message you give other people in their 20s?
I would say to chase your dreams. I feel like, all those big ideas that you feel you can't do, but the ones that keep you up at night, chase them and do them and find a way to do them and find. Issa Rae did an interview where she spoke about when she was making the Awkward Black Girl series, she was working with her friends a lot. Um, and I feel like that whole notion and concept of working with those around you is really important, especially making things for mutual benefit and building things that could have a legacy and impact on other people's lives. So yeah, I would say just find the way you can to like chase your dreams. And something I'll also say as well is like I've spoken to a lot of like young people who would say, "Oh, I don't have the experience to work here and at this company or whatever," but you can always kind of create that experience for yourself. Like if you want to film something, rent a camera off Fat Llama, and for a cheap price or whatever, and just go out and make these things. Because when I actually really started making things for myself, a lot of the job interviews that I was doing, they were asking me about my brand as opposed to like my actual work experience, and what I was doing for my brand was actually getting me jobs and interviews. So you just don't know like where your work can take you. So yeah, I think my big thing for anyone is really to chase your dreams.